Hey out there, I'm Kristen.
And I'm Jacquis. Welcome to the nightly From Hatch, a slumber party for the pop culture lovers. Hey out there, everybody, and hello to you, Kristen.
Hey Jacquis, how are you doing tonight?
Beautiful. Beautiful. I've been in and out of just like different weather over the past like couple weeks. Been cold, been hot, been too hot, been too cold. And you know, I'm just looking forward to some consistent, like a consistent string of like 70s is what I would love.
You need some Goldilocks weather, but you've been traveling so much though. And when you're traveling, sometimes, you can kind of prepare based on the weather report for where you're going to, but then the weather report can change and you only have what's in your suitcase, right?
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah. When I was in Scotland last year, and I'll be going back, that's hard to pack for me because you'll have like a 20-degree range for the highs. I can get the lows, but for the highs. And like, so, it'll be like 65 to 70, maybe even 75. And then another day it'll be like 50. And so like, it makes it harder for me to pack like small because I like to just carry carry-on bags if I can. Are you a carry-oner or do you check bags?
100%. I do not check luggage.
Yeah.
And it does not matter if I'm traveling for 3 days or 6 weeks. I try to only carry a backpack when I travel.
Yeah, only a
no
backpack. Not even like a rolly bag?
Nope, not even a rolly bag, because I don't want to be stuck in that situation where the flight crew makes an announcement like, okay, we don't have any more room for rolly bags. If you have a rolly bag, you have to chuck it in now, whether you like it or not.
Man.
You know, those situations.
I do.
And I'm like, I'm not doing that. No, I'm doing a backpack.
A backpack? That's wild for me.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that.
I generally have a rule when I travel that I won't bring more than one pair of shoes with me, the one pair on my feet, and I'll bring one extra pair. And then also, my clothes are kind of little because, as you know, Jacquis, I'm only 5'3".
Yeah.
So it's not like my clothes are giant or expansive. They're pretty small clothes anyway. So I'm like, oh, I can pack 4 to 5 outfits in a backpack.
I have a bag that can fit under the seat. That's like, it's a briefcase, suitcase type thing. It still rolls, but it can fit under the seat. I can use that if I'm traveling somewhere for like 3 to 4 days. But my thing is I'm a sneakerhead. I'm a shoe wearer. I put together fits, especially if I'm performing. I can't just be wearing anything.
Yeah.
Like I gotta look good on stage, for my own sake of mind. And then also,
Yes.
I do like fashion and things like that. So, and not saying like people who don't pack a lot don't love fashion. I know people do, but like, I think men's clothing, is thicker sometimes.
Yeah.
So like,
It
a
is.
pair of jeans or, if I have to have 2 pair of jeans and then like a couple sneakers and things like that, I generally have to do like 2 carry-ons. So I have to do a rolly and one under my seat or that middle bag if I absolutely need to check.
Yeah. And for you to bring, let's say, 4 pairs of sneakers with you on a trip, because let's be real, with men's fashion, one of the best ways to be fashionable is the shoes. Whereas for women, I find it super easy to be fashionable by bringing 3 little mini dresses.
Yeah.
And those mini dresses each take up less room than a pair of shoes.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. They take up about the same amount of size as like boxers.
Yeah, exactly. If you're 5'3" and wearing a mini dress, it's not that much fabric. Yeah. In another era in life, it might be the same amount of room that a swimsuit would take up, a mini dress in 2026, right?
Yeah. Toiletries also can, I have my body wash that I like. I have my lotion that I like.
I know you like your lotion too. Yep.
But I travel with small ones. But maybe like 2 or 3, depending on the length. Like I'll be in Europe for almost a month, so I'll need like 5 little small lotions instead of one big one if I want to just carry on. It's a lot. It's a science to it, and I hate it. I wish check bags were free. And I wish it would almost be like a Greyhound, where like you get off the plane and then you just like go right outside and get your bag from the plane, and then
Oh
like
my gosh, wouldn't that
you
be
can
great?
bounce.
Rather than just standing by the carousel for who knows how long,
Yeah,
and then you find out it's not even the right carousel, and you have to be in this other section of the airport. Oh my
it's too
gosh,
much.
I've been in that
I'm gonna
situation.
make a
Yeah.
plane. Sharks, sharks. Let me talk to y'all for a second. So here's my invention: a better plane. First, start under the plane. Every seat has a compartment under the plane, and that's where your luggage goes. And then instead of the runway, it's the steps. You walk down the steps, you go get your luggage, and you walk back up the steps or the ramp, and then you go through the airport, go home. That's the first thing. Second thing, 5 less rows. 5 less rows per plane.
I'm just going to say 10 less. Let's just have more leg room for everybody.
Let's have more leg room
we,
for everybody.
we don't need all those rows. I'm so into this. So into this idea. Love it. All right. Jacquis, are you ready to pivot
Yes.
into tonight's fun activity that we're going to play?
I love an activity.
All right. So tonight's activity is rabbit holes.
I love rabbits.
So what we're going to do, as usual with rabbit holes, is we're going to dive deep together into a topic that has piqued one of our interests recently. Maybe, dig into the Pillow Fort Encyclopedia as need be to learn more about this topic. And tonight, the topic I'm bringing to the table is soap operas.
Love it.
Oh, I'm so glad you love it, because I know that some people don't even think about soap operas at all, but I grew up with a mom and a nana who watched soap operas all the time. And I just was reminded of soap operas after Michael B. Jordan won his Oscar. Susan Lucci from All My Children shouted him out on social and just, sung his praises, talked about how much she loved working with him when he played her stepson on the show, and posted a picture, and he was so cute. He must have been like 10 or 12 in this picture that she posted. It was so adorable.
Beautiful.
And I just thought, oh my gosh, I forgot how many hugely famous Oscar-winning superstars have gotten their start on soap operas. So that's why I want to go down this rabbit hole tonight to talk about soap operas. So Jacquis, you actually sounded excited about this topic. What's your connection with soap operas?
I did grow up watching soap operas. All My Children and Days of Our Lives were the ones on in my household. So I know Susan Lucci well. I'm pretty sure I've seen Michael B. Jordan. I just don't remember him from it. But I was watching around the time with my grandma that he was on. And currently, at least for the past 15 years or so, maybe a little bit more, I've watched every episode of the General Hospital, and still do to this day.
That was my mom's show.
Yeah.
Okay, my mom used to watch General Hospital, and she also watched The Young and the Restless. So I knew that opening music theme song so well. I'm not going to hum it because I'm tone deaf. But when I was a little kid, I didn't understand what the show title was, so I used to call it The Young and the Rest of Us.
Yeah.
And my mom always would laugh when I'd say, "Are you watching The Young and the Rest of Us?" And she'd say, "Yeah."
That makes sense.
And she would just laugh and laugh. And I'm like, why is she laughing? It's her show. I don't get it. The Young and the Rest of Us. Oh, and my mom also watched a show that I don't know how long it existed. It was called Search for Tomorrow.
That sounds
Have
a
you
little
ever heard
familiar.
of that? Yeah. And meanwhile, my Nana, when she was watching her stories, it was always The Bold and the Beautiful.
Yeah. Bold and the Beautiful, Young and the Restless, both CBS. All My Children and Days of Our Lives were both, Days of Our Lives was NBC. All My Children was, to my knowledge, ABC, which is where GH is now. Each network had their own.
Oh, listen to you calling it GH.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They have their own thing. But so many stars. I do know, like, GH has had a lot of stars. I don't want to dive into what you might be talking about, but a few big ones, like, came from GH who went on to be huge stars, and all of them, really. But All My Children and GH, I feel like, had probably the biggest stars that went on to become like Hollywood superstars and, known for other things outside of the soap opera world.
Yeah, I know Brad Pitt got his start on the soaps. Julianne Moore got her start on the soaps.
Demi Moore.
Yes, Demi Moore, of course.
John Stamos.
Oh my God, John Stamos.
John Stamos was GH.
I didn't know that. I always think of John Stamos as Full House.
No, he got his start on General Hospital. He was like a big character too. Him and Demi Moore, they both got their starts on General Hospital.
I know Kelly Ripa was on All My Children, and that's how she met her husband. Hold on. I think she met her husband on All My Children.
Possibly. I think, yeah.
Yeah. Mark Consuelos, who she said it was love at first sight with him.
Of course. Always is.
Oh, and Amanda Seyfried.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. On All My Children as well.
As the World Turns, I think.
Oh, As the World Turns. Okay.
Oh, no, but she was also on All My Children. She was.
Yeah, I thought for a little bit she was. Because, sometimes even now, sometimes they be on different soap operas, some of the actors, even concurrently.
Yeah, and I'm so impressed by that. And, not that nighttime soap operas are the same thing as daytime soap operas, but I was reading Linda Gray's memoir. Linda Gray starred on Dallas, which was a nighttime soap opera, not a daytime soap opera. And she said soap operas are just the best boot camp ever because unlike films where you're shooting a 90-minute or a 2-hour film over the course of months, you have to film every single day, whether you like it or not. And you got to have those lines down. You got to know who your character is. You got to be prepared for if things go wrong, too bad. You're going to find a way to work your way through it. And she just talked about the momentum of working on soap operas being great training ground for anybody who is going to have an acting career. If you're going to be on film, work on a soap opera for a while is what she said, because you will learn how to act better. You'll learn how to act faster. You'll learn how to not to waste people's time. And she found film acting to be full of time wasters, she said in her memoir.
So they do it in blocks. It's like block shooting. So like an actor will come in for the week. You are basically shooting possibly like the next like month of episodes in that week. So you shoot all your scenes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's not even shot like a regular TV show where like, you film shoot the episode, blah, blah, blah. Because even regular TV, generally, sitcoms or even single cam, you film one episode per week. You might get into the second episode, but that's about it. And even multicam, like most of that week is spent rehearsing and blah, 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 blah. This one, like they do block shooting and you only get one take, maybe two if you really mess up. So that's why soap opera acting has sometimes generally been viewed as very particular, but a lot of times it's because of necessity. They're just shooting so much and like they shoot months in advance, so like the episode you're watching tonight or today may have been filmed 3-4 months ago.
Oh my God, I'm learning so much. Hold on, have you been on a soap opera before?
I've not been on a soap opera, but I have been on a set of a soap opera before. I've auditioned for General Hospital actually before. But...
Oh, I want you to have a soap opera appearance. What kind of role would you want if you were on a soap opera?
I wouldn't want to be a doctor. That seems boring. On GH at least, they also have the mob, the crime family. I would want to be like part of
because hospitals and mobs
go together. Yeah, listen,
they go together. You
can't have one without the other. So I would want to be a part of the crime world.
I think I would just want to be the person who answers the phone. General Hospital.
You want to be a receptionist?
Yeah, I just would be that person, and that would be my whole scene would be the camera zooming in on me as I answer the phone.
Yeah, you would just be a busybody in a hospital.
But I want to be a different era of nurse on General Hospital. I want to be the era of nurse that has the cute little cap still. The little white cap they used to wear.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Love that look.
OG.
I'd be so into that. But
OG
just
look.
that one scene. I have like 4 words to say in the whole thing.
I love it. You also know what I love about soap operas is they're always set in fictional towns.
Yes. Like, hold on, which one's set in Salem?
Let's look in the encyclopedia real quick.
Yeah, let's look it up.
Days of Our Lives was set in fictional Midwestern town of Salem.
Oh man, I always think of Salem as being East Coast where the witches are. I didn't know that was in the Midwest. Okay, all
No,
right.
yeah, it's in the Midwest. General Hospital was set in a fictional town called Port Charles, which is in like upstate New York town.
Port Charles to me sounds like North
It
Carolina or
does.
something.
It does.
Yeah.
Port Charles is fun too because they did make a nighttime. They've made a couple nighttime spinoffs of GH, and Port Charles was probably my entry into GH. Because I remember when it was on
Oh.
and it was about vampires in the town of Port
Oh my
Charles that
gosh.
came to the town of Port Charles, and that's what it was about. They canceled that, and then one of the characters, when All My Children got canceled, and As the World Turns and all those shows got canceled, some of those started to come over to GH playing either their character or they were the same actor that was on Port Charles. So they brought that character back and got them into the world of GH, which was really
Oh my
fun.
gosh. I love the risks that the storytellers take when they're putting together the plots on soap operas because, I mean, why not? You have to run every single day, 52 weeks a year. Why not take some risks? Why not go wild? Why not have a vampire here? Why not have an identical twin
Mm-hmm.
who you thought was dead
Mm-hmm.
and have the identical twin come back who's now having an affair with your brother?
Yep.
And actually, your brother's not your brother at all.
Nope.
And I know that a lot of people like to diss soap operas because of the wacky plot lines, but I also just think it's a great training ground for writers. It's a
Mm-hmm.
great training ground for creative storytellers to try new and different things. And in a lot of ways, soap operas are training grounds for everybody working on the show,
Yeah.
from directors to up and coming actors and so on. And they make an enjoyable product. Clearly, they're enjoyable or they wouldn't be running for decades. Like, hasn't General Hospital been on over 50 years?
60.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. I remember when I first started watching, it was around their 50th anniversary because that was like a big
Oh
deal.
my gosh. That's bananas.
Yeah.
So they've been around since when the Beatles were together,
Yeah.
since before Woodstock.
Yeah. I mean, All My Children was also around for a very long time as well before it got canned.
Wow.
I love it though. I love that there is something like that that's been on. I can't imagine when they first started these, they were like, these are going to be on forever.
No, because they literally were just a way to sell soap. They were all sponsored by home economics products, right?
Mm.
By soap, by dishwashing liquid, by vacuum cleaners, all of these products that were targeting women who were stay-at-home moms or stay-at-home wives. It's like, okay, how can we get our advertisements out? We'll build stories around our ads. Our ads will sponsor these shows. They weren't necessarily thinking in terms of story so much as how do we move product back then, right?
And now look at them.
And now look at them.
All story, no soap.
Yeah.
They're just operas. They don't advertise anything on
Yes.
these shows anymore. Sometimes they do. Every once in a while they do. And those are usually the worst episodes. They're the worst. Those and tribute episodes are the worst episodes of soap operas to me. Like when somebody old dies, who I was like, man, this person died this person left the show before I even started watching it. And I'm just like, I don't care about this. I don't care. I just don't care. I don't care. And I know that's not right. And, they deserve their flowers, and I'm glad they're getting them. But I skip those episodes. I'm like, this don't mean nothing to me. And that's me. That's a fault of my own. That's my personality, and I need to work on that. And I know that, and I will.
Well, I'm just really glad, Jacquis, that you appreciate soap operas so much, because this is a rabbit hole that really, like I said, I wanted to go down just because of that one post by Suzanne Lucci about Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
I didn't know nearly as much about soap operas as you do. I have watched a few hours of soap operas in my whole life, whereas clearly you've watched many, many, many hours.
Oh, that's a
So
lot.
to be able to talk about this with you is so special. And I'm just going to say before we sign off, I'm still hoping that you will be on General Hospital someday.
I hope so, and I hope they'll so-raz me. And for those of you who don't know what that is the soap opera rapid aging system, which is when kids
What?
are on the show, Then they go away for a couple months and they come back and they're a different age. That's called sorazing. So when I come back, I'm going to soraz in the opposite end. I'm going to be 21.
Oh my gosh. I'm so ready for it. And it better be written into the plot. Or are you not supposed to write it into the plot? Are you supposed to just pretend it's not happening?
You pretend like those kids are that age. They were like 5 years old and then they come back and they're 13. You'd be like, when you were in school last week, I'm so happy you graduated 8th grade. They don't. They act like it never happened. It's beautiful.
Oh, all right. So I'll look forward to your Sarazing on General Hospital. I'll dream about that as I go to sleep tonight.
Yes.
And yes, so let's turn in. Jacquis, sleep well.
You too. Good night, Kristen.
Good night, Jacquis.